influencers, key opinion leaders, brands, individuals is always going to be the driver of everything.
Yeah.
I think this has been obvious for the last decade. I think where it will change, and I've been looking at some investments myself in this avenue, which is AI is going to get so good over the next 5 to 10 years that the influencers you actually follow won't even be real. These will be influencers that have been created by AI. The YouTube video you're watching won't even be real life. It will be a complete fake AI prescriptive world that the person you're following is just naturally in it. That person will then be having dates and going on and playing football or whatever with another person who's also AI, who's also got their own show, which is also a podcast or also a YouTube channel. So the actual way this is going to go is the influencers you follow over the next decade won't even be real people, they'll be AIs, but you won't even know that. They'll have fake lives, fake personas, fake friends that are also AIs. You'll have shows that you watch that is also AI generated. The Instagram accounts you follow will also be AI. And it'll be following a narrative. And there'll be big talent houses whose whole job is to create these massive portfolios of influencers that they own. And they'll start being like, okay, cool, let's create AI that focuses on horse riding. And it's the horse riding AI influencer that's going to start dating the rugby player influencer, so we cross-pollinate those audiences. So now rather than someone, let's say Tommy Fury and Molly-Mae being real people that have their own brands, they're actually both be fake, controlled by one talent house influencer agency that has control of everything. They'll make their own brands. This is the way the world's going to go. So if you can predict that that's where it's going to go in 5 to 10 years, which I think it 100% will, you basically have a 5 to 10 year window to build your own brand before there is no chance that you can do it anymore. Because it's going to be completely controlled by these AIs. And these people will be pushing out 1,000, 10,000, 20,000 AI influencers every single month on the idea the lottery ticket win comes in and their one person becomes as big as Molly-Mae and is just a fake AI influencer. I think we're going to see this at a grand scale we've never seen before. So I think all this influencer stuff is going to matter hugely. And if you're looking at how to build anything these days, it's always been about influencers, key opinion leaders and brands. I think, would I rather be the biggest video editing influencer in the world or have Google Ads? Well, it's obvious to me I'd rather be the biggest video editor influencer. So I think this is what people are now realizing is that if you build your brand once and you put enough money behind it to get the traction, it pays you forever. If you go to Google Ads, you pay for it every day. And I think that's the fact people are starting to learn now, which is if I double down on this influencer thing, I have a podcast and I invest in the right technologies or I partner with the right people like yourself, that makes my life 10 times easier. And I don't have to think about what's happening because I walk in, I sit down, I talk to a camera and I leave.
Then we will make the AI from you and we don't need to.
Yeah, and then
next year.
I say 150 words and I give you my prompts of how I'd respond to most questions. You ask me 25 questions, now you know my opinion and I don't even have to walk in anymore. These things will happen. Like, it's obvious that these things are going to happen. Like, if anyone who uses ChatGPT now knows that it pretty much has your tone of voice now. It pretty much understands the world you're living in. And you just have to say, now do this for me. And it does it exactly in your persona. I think it's frightening and exciting at the same time. I don't think we should be stifling these innovations, but I think people should be aware of what's happening.
Oh, I think the influencers, entrepreneurs, they shouldn't be worried too much because that will be another tool. And if you think like how many people don't use ChatGPT now, this is like surprisingly how much of them. In your story, I think the only thing we need is AI audience.
Well,
let them watch each other.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole thesis.
And...
There's a whole thesis on like, are most views even real?